Cranborough back with some Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts Austria-Hungary campaign that we began in January 1910 and it is now April 1917. We are in the what has to be the closing stages of our second war against France. And at least with regard to France, Austro-Hungarian naval power reigns pretty supreme. We've got just a completely ridiculous number of victory points compared to France, and we have established a blockade with overwhelming power projection in all three sea zones where France has ports: the English Channel, the North Atlantic, and of course the Western Mediterranean. France is down to, they still have a few ships, however the vast majority of them are under repair. They have 23 total ships, 20 of them are under repair or refit, so they actually only have 3 operational ships at the moment, right now in April 1917. They may get a couple that get repaired, and I think we'll probably be able to take care of them. So the war continues, and what I'm trying to do, I don't know if I'll succeed or not, what I'm trying to do is hopefully get a crushing enough victory that we actually get some more ports, but I don't know if that's possible in the game mechanics. I don't know if it's possible to obtain ports like Marseille, Toulon, Nice, right? These are kind of home ports. You'd have to get control of southern France or western France. And I don't know if that's possible. Because, the worst thing that can befall one of the nations is to completely dissolve and not become, just cease to be a power. Well, that happened to Germany, and their ports are simply neutral. It's not like Britain or Italy or anybody else got these. So I'm kind of thinking that's probably true of these remaining French ports as well. And I would assume the same is true, like for Italy. Maybe you can grab the Sardinian ports or possibly the Sicilian ones, but not anything on the main Italian peninsula. Britain, maybe grab Valletta, Limassol, Gibraltar, but can't actually get anything in the British Isles. That's my guess. I don't know if it works that way. In any case, this war is going to continue into May 1917. And I've kind of reworked still got the task forces. We have 2 in the English Channel. And my idea is to kind of separate them some so that if there is a battle, at least one of the task forces remains unengaged. And therefore we maintain a presence. So I've got these separated as much as they can be in the English Channel, I think. I don't know exactly where the border is on each end. And then I've got 2 task forces separated in the North Atlantic as well. Whether it works out that way, I don't know. I might pull them all in anyway. Our destroyers have been doing a lot of fighting in the West Med, and so at least temporarily they were sent back into port, and I am putting them back out. I've got the St. Florent squadron coming back out in protect mode. The Bonifacio, I think they're still in there repairing. There were too many of them. But I've also got the Tunis squadron coming out. They're only 5 DDs each because of repairs, but anywho. And I've also got a pair of battlecruisers coming back around into the West Med as well. So we'll have a pair of battlecruisers in the West Med, a pair in the North Atlantic, and a pair in the English Channel, all of them in invade mode. All right, into May 1917. Oh, the French are accusing us of war crimes. And the PM is wringing his hands. Oh, what's your opinion, Navy leader? Well, I'm not going to give France $110,000. I know that. Yeah. Okay, so, well, our unrest is at 0. Our naval prestige is over 500. So, c'est la vie. Okay, and they're coming back asking for peace again. Nope. And basically, I'm just going to keep saying fight to the end until either A, France dissolves. Wait a minute. If I push them all the way to dissolution, then there can't be a peace treaty, can there? Therefore, we couldn't get ports anyway. Maybe the trick is to allow the peace treaty and hope for the best. Not quite yet. We'll fight to the end again. But at some point, I might agree. Okay. Ooh, that's a nice tech. Electromechanical analog computer. All kinds of accuracy buffs. This isn't actually a component, right? It's not like rangefinder or what have you. I'm not sure this even requires a refit. I think it just comes into play. I think all of our existing ships get this. Or at very least, maybe it requires a refit, but you don't actually have to do anything. I don't know which of those two it is. You know, you just refit the ship, don't change anything, and just save it with all the same components and everything, but get these, or you might just get these buffs regardless. Okay, France losing more transports, of course. And what do we have here? We have a convoy battle in the West Med. Our destroyers are back into the fight. Are we defending a convoy? No, we are attacking a convoy. Okay, 6 Leica DDs. I'm not sure where the 6th came from. I don't have a 6 DD task force actually out at sea. So somebody came from port to help out. Okay, Div 2. Run off this way. Div 5. Div 1. Run off this way. Let's get the entire division on torpedo avoidance. Just smells like torpedoes there. I'm just going to make the preemptive turn. Flash fire, oh my gosh. I don't want that cruiser to die. I may not have a choice. I don't think we're ever going to see the transports for the simple reason that that light cruiser may not live. Okay, everyone stop shooting at it. Hopefully it survives. thinking the transports should be over in this area. Okay, I think Mulhouse is stable. Ah, here we go. Here we go. I think it's time for Div 2's guns to come back on. Let me slow down to cruise speed. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not sure we got them all yet. Seven, but the eighth one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The eighth one, no, we might have sunk it already. Well, in any case, we sank 7 of the 8. Fair enough. Let's head on back and finish off the light cruiser. Okay, Mulhouse has been reacquired. Having too good a time of it, are we, Mulhouse? Really has very few guns left. 5.7. The 6s are out. 4.4s are out. The torpedoes are out. Some flash fire, I think. And looks like only one 5.7 turret, and that one's damaged. And then she's got quite a few 1.6s left, but they're not in play. One possible strategy would be leave this ship alive, and then France is obligated to spend money to repair it. But the other way to look at it is, if you sink it, France is obligated to either not have a cruiser anymore or spend the money to build a new one. Looks like she's going to have to spend the money to build a new one. Alright, light damage to one of the DDs, and Mulhouse sunk 653 VP for transport. I didn't think to look if we sank 7 or 8. We sank a bunch. Okay, let's proceed on into June 1917. And, well, first of all, I did notice earlier that after the battles that they had in an earlier month, our two West Med battleships were sent back to Pula, not to Bizerta. So I need to move them back to their home port. Just had to wait 1 month for one of these had to repair a month. Okay, they're headed back home where they belong. War continues between Austria-Hungary and France, and immediately upon returning to the West Med, Luitpold goes back into action against a couple of cruisers, and she's got D4 for support. Okay, first of the cruisers has been sighted. I don't know whether that's the light or the heavy. I'm not very familiar with French hulls. Kind of looks light-ish. Okay, well, I don't want her. I don't want Luitpold eating torpedoes. So let's get her kind of turned around. Got the DD over here kind of screening. Hopefully she screens on the correct side. Kind of testing to see how the AI, friendly AI, does with that. Okay, other cruiser is sighted. I think it, well, they look awfully similar, don't they? One's got 5 stacks, one's got 4. Well, this one clearly has bigger guns. Well, bigger turrets anyway. Only 6.3s compared to 5.7s for this one. So they're similarly armed, either way. Need to come real close to those torpedoes. Just going to mosey back on over this way. Mains are masked at the moment. I don't know if I'm real impressed with your screening there, D4. I think screening would typically mean you're between the enemy and your high-value unit, as opposed to lurking in the background. Okay, let's slow down for accuracy. Okay, this is the CL, the DESRON. So that must be the CA once we get it identified. Dassault down. Okay. Now the Metz, which is only a 19-knot ship. So even at cruise speed, our battleship is still faster than the heavy cruiser. Longitudinal offset on that ship, not very impressive. It's not terrible on the Dassault, on the CL. Smiths even have torpedoes? They do. That was a big smack there. So the 12.9s and the combined 4.9s on both the BB and the DD, good proportions of damage for each. The 4.9s are making a real contribution. There's our destroyer. Okay, well, doing donuts in the back, but it all worked out. Let's look at... okay, that almost all came from Luitpold's 4.9-inch guns. D4 kind of didn't make much of a contribution there. So we learned a little something about the screening mode. They kind of run around in the back and are turning so much that they really can't contribute much in the way of gunfire either. I think we knew that. I just thought I'd go to try every now and then. Light damage to Luitpold probably sent it right back to Pula, didn't you? Let's see. Where's Luitpold? At Pula. Not back to its home port. And I had kind of bragged on the game earlier in a recent episode that we're doing a better job at that, and now it's making a liar out of me. Okay, we have another convoy battle in the West Med. 5 destroyers going after a 17 transport convoy with another light cruiser defending. Okay. Okay, the cruiser's been sighted there. Want to beat her up a little bit so that she can't chase us or remain a threat. Let's get the whole DESRON on torpedo avoidance. Okay, good. She fired at D-15, who already had made a preemptive turn. She needs to turn more. Oh my gosh. Well, your best chance is just to go straight. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's turn back this way. Let's get torpedo avoidance off. Did we do much damage to Davos? We did. Let's do a little bit more on our way to go find the transports, who I think are going to be kind of over this way. We do have cloudy weather, and that's probably limiting visibility. We could come fairly close to transports and not realize it, not see them. With the visibility conditions, let's just sink this cruiser and head back to base for a beer. wasn't sure. Go ahead and throw torpedoes if the captains have a mind to. Torpedoes away from D-15. Moot Point, Davao sinks, or burns up rather. July 1917. Let's go. Okay, in the North Atlantic, we've got Artemisia and Dreadnoughts with their cruiser escort meeting a heavy cruiser, which is probably going to send this task force back into port over in the East Med. And that's why I have that other task force down here far enough where they don't get engaged, and they should remain there and provide enough power projection until we get these BCs back into the North Atlantic. Right, enemy sighted. Our cruisers aren't landing too many hits there. They're actually further away with smaller guns. That's a factor. I'm not even sure that the cruisers would have the French cruiser in sight yet if it wasn't for the closer battle cruisers. .9's banging away. Wonder how much they're contributing. Yeah, not that much. %, accuracy though on the 12.9s. Ooh, there we go. Boom. Penetration, flooding. This is a big hit. Yep, France is having a rough time at sea. Yep, ship's almost done. Comes some more 12.9. Boom. That might do it right there. Not even identified yet. Heavy flooding. Yeah, our cruisers did not make an enormous contribution there. Yeah. Artemisia and Donau off station. Going to have to get another task force into the North Atlantic. Okay, 4 heavy cruisers against 1 destroyer. Where is that? Oh, I think this is our other task force in the North Atlantic. We might be about to lose all of our presence. I'm going to auto-resolve this. Okay, heavy damage to the DD. No damage to our guys. Does it still send them back to port? I can't tell because I have to fight this battle. And we've got 5 destroyers against the heavy cruiser. Okay. Cruiser sighted. Okay, we're just going to bore the DESRON right on in. Okay, let's go ahead and smoke up. Let's go ahead and go torpedo, save. Torpedoes away from D6. And looks like we're going to get at least 1 hit. There's a hit. Okay. Goodness. Extensive fire. Light damage to D6. Okay. And, oh, we do have. This is a different group. That's not the group that was engaged. That was these guys. Okay, so these 4 cruisers were engaged by, or engaged that DD, but they were not driven off station. That's good. Good, good, good. I would like to get another force into the North Atlantic. Because right now we're down to 3,900 power projection. Let's send another 4 cruiser force into the North Atlantic. Got 7 cruisers here. It's Spalato. Let's do that. Krems, Leonding, Miskolc, and Salzburg. Probably just butchered all 4 of those names. Okay. I think that will do for this episode as the war with France continues to the bitter end. Not quite sure how that's going to end. How is France doing on ships? Down to 20 ships, of which 12 are repairing. Okay, so even though we sank some ships there, more came out of the yards, and so they've got 8 ships active, of which 2 heavy cruisers and 2 destroyers in the West Med. 1 heavy cruiser, 1 destroyer in the North Atlantic. And 1 light cruiser in the English Channel. Okay. If you like what we're doing with the channel, if you like the content, then leave a like, leave a comment, maybe even subscribe. But at any rate, thank you very, very much for watching. I appreciate it.